Okay, we're back doing our top 10. Um, Mike and Mark, we got band from the Netherlands, Kayak, been around since the 70s. Um, a lot of albums spread out. Um, their big years were in the 70s, but they did some albums in what 3 or 4 decades. So we're gonna let Mike start us off.
Okay, so I think they started in the early to mid 70s and did like three really proggy albums. Um, and then slowly but surely morphed into uh, poppy prog on the next three or four albums. Um, and they broke up like in probably about 1980-ish and then didn't get back together until like 99 or something like that with Close to the Fire. But the one thing I love about Kayak, other than their sound, is Max Werner's vocals.
Mm-hmm.
I just adore. There's something I don't know. He's not the greatest singer in the world, but I just love his voice.
Yeah.
So most of the songs that I like are songs with his vocals. He only did vocals on the first 5 albums, and then they hired Edward Riekers, and Max went to playing the drums at that point. And then when they did regroup in '99, Max Werner did do the vocals for Close to the Fire album, but then he left the band soon after that, and they've had Edward Riekers is back actually, I believe, in the 2000s.
Yeah. Did Max have stage fright or something?
Yeah, supposedly he did.
Okay.
And if you look at videos from the 70s, he wasn't standing there singing. He was playing the mellotron off to the side and singing. So maybe that was part of it. But
Yeah.
that's kind of the story that we've heard in the past. But what a great talent! I just adore his voice. Anyway, from the first album, as far as my top 10 go, CC the Sun, that album. Forever is a Lonely Thought. And probably an obscure song, but I think that's one of the top mellotron moments. String mellotron is just blows me away on that song. 2 or 3 minutes in when it starts up, it's just incredible use of the string sound on a mellotron. And then also from the first album, CC the Sun, Mammoth. That's just an awesome song, and it's pretty cool. That's on YouTube when they performed it in about '75 or something. It's pretty cool video. From their third album, we get nothing from Kayak 2, as it's called. I think it was just simply named Kayak. But from their third album, Royal Bed Bouncer, Life of Gold, I've always just adored that song. And another pretty heavy song, If This Is Your Welcome. From their fourth album, Starlight Dancer, title track, Starlight Dancer. That's the first. The American version is the first exposure I ever had to Kayak, which was kind of a combination of Starlight Dancer and Last Encore on the European albums. So it was a bit different when I finally got the European albums. They were quite different than the American ones. Also from that album, Sweet Revenge, and Where Do We Go From Here, which is the final song on Starlight Dancer, but it's pretty cool, sort of ballady kind of song. Again, Max Vernon. I can't say enough about his vocals. One song in my top 10 with Edward Reeker's vocals from Phantom of the Night is title track, Phantom of the Night. And one song that didn't make an album for some reason, but it did make the American version of Starlight Dancer, but not the. I don't think it made a European album. It was Ballad for a Lost Friend, and I don't know what it is about that song. I've adored that since the '70s, and I cannot explain it. I listened to it this morning, and it still gives me goosebumps listening to it. I don't know what it is about that song.
Yeah, you turned me on to it.
Yeah, I can't put a finger on that. And then lastly, in my top 10, a little bit of a surprise from 1999, the title track from "Close to the Fire." I just love that song, and I couldn't cut it from the top 10. I thought, there's so many songs from the '70s, but that had to make it. I couldn't leave it out. So my honorable mentions then from Royal Bed Bouncers' title track, Royal Bed Bouncer, and also Chance of a Lifetime, another great song, good rocker. Starlight Dancer, the first song that I was exposed to on the radio, one of the, I think, 4 songs that got airplay, if I got it right, in the United States, or at least in St. Louis. I Want You to Be Mine. That's the first exposure I had to Kayak. And also from that album, May and Turn the Tide. A couple from Phantom of the Night. I think this just got very little airplay, but it did. I still remember it. Crime of Passion. And also Ruthless Queen, awesome ballad. And I think that got quite a bit of exposure over in Europe, maybe just Holland, but I know it made the charts, I believe. Probably their biggest song ever. And then lastly, the only thing from Periscope Life, and this got airplay as well. When I finally got that album, I realized, oh my gosh, they used to play this on the radio back in 1980 or so. But I love the title track, Periscope Life, even though it's very poppy, but it's a great song. That's my top 18 actually, and again, another band I just adore those first 9 albums, really going up to from early 70s to 99 when they regrouped. Just great stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a couple albums that I didn't even pick songs off of, but they're solid albums. I didn't pick anything from The Last Encore. The Last Encore is a great album. It's got probably 7 awesome songs on it. So, and I didn't choose anything. Just one of those albums that's great all the way through, but nothing stood out. So anyway, I'll turn it over to you, Mark.
All right. I'm kind of all over the place here. I always, you had that connection with Max. Although I loved him, I also loved Reekers. I didn't have any, I had quite a liking to him as well. We only had one big difference on the early stuff, and I really thought this was going to be on your radar. I thought it was a super great proggy song. We never really talked about it much, but I'll get into it. Okay, my top 10. Speaking of The Last Encore, Nothingness. I just think it's a beautiful ballad. I loved it.
I agree. That is a great song.
Ruthless Queen. Another different one. I thought I don't think is on your list is CC the Sun. excellent tune. Daphne, which is from Phantom of the Night, always loved it. I just think it's a great track. Winning Ways, which also had some radio time as well. That's also from Phantom. If This Is Your Welcome, what an incredible tune that is. And this is one that I was surprised that it's not on your list. It's an incredible proggy song, Lovely Luna. Title track to Starlight Dancer, Ballad for a Lost Friend, in May.
Wow, there's a surprise in May. That's kind of a song that some people might miss. You know,
Yeah.
if you like Kayak, it's kind of a song that never got any attention, but it's good to see that you like it as much as I do.
Yeah, we got a lot of similarities here. To be honest with you, a lot of this stuff was really hard to pick for the top or not. Sweet Revenge, title track to Phantom of the Night, Want You to Be Mine. These are all duplicates, and I picked this. This is an interesting song. This is possibly their only instrumental, Irene, which I always really liked to listen to it. I always thought it was a pretty song, just nicely done. I like it. It doesn't blow me away, but I think it's a really nice tune. Back to the Front, which is also from the last encore, and I wanted to pick one from Periscope Life, and it was between two, Periscope Life and another really poppy song, but I like it. Beggars Can't Be Choosers. It's a poppy tune, but I like it. It's a good tune. I like to listen to it. Turn the Tide, and then of course Forever Is Lonely Thought. I agree. It's totally incredible. I got that in there. That could have easily been in the top 10. Life of Gold, and then the title track to Periscope Life. I did miss that I had that at the bottom here. But that's it. That's my top 10 and my honorable mentions. So
yeah, so we did have a lot of similarities. The thing about Nothingness, I left it off, but it certainly was, you know, in those top 30 when I was gathering all the best songs in my mind. Nothingness is a very unique song, and it's really kind of haunting, or there's something about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always loved that song, and I don't know what to say about Kayak. They were just great, and I probably overlooked by a lot of people, unfortunately. And
around here, they're really only known for. Seriously, I mean, I'm looking at my list. They're really only known for one song, "Want You to Be Mine." That's pretty much it.
yeah,
I don't think I think anybody that even knows who they are, that's probably all they can name.
right. And the only other three that got airplay just briefly, and I remember hearing it on the radio when I was in college, or Keep the Change, Crime and Passion, and Periscope Live. Those were the only other ones that got, you know, a couple weeks of airplay.
Yeah,
but
Keep the Change. I remember that.
yeah, I just great band. They're
Yep.
they're way up there in my favorite band list. I just love their albums. They're so good. And you mentioned CC the Sun, those songs, and Lovely Luna. Great stuff. It's hard to narrow it down to 18.
I know.
It really was, and all those were on my radar. Again, there were 30 plus songs right off the bat that from them.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Hope you like the video. Click like, subscribe, make a comment, let us know what you think, and we'll see you on the next band. Thanks for watching.